All right, Texas insurance agents, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about one of the biggest, messiest, and most common crises your clients will ever have to deal with: water damage in their home. This isn't just about the claim, right? It's about you being the expert, the guide, the calm in the storm for your client. So let's open up the playbook that's going to make you invaluable. So, just how common are we talking? Get this. Nearly 1 out of every 3 home insurance claims has to do with water damage. Yeah, it's right up there, just behind wind and hail. So for you and your clients, this is absolutely a win, not an if situation. Being ready is everything.
And the financial hit? It's huge. The average payout for one of these claims is a staggering $11,000. So when you help a client navigate this process well, you're not just saving their property, you're really cementing that relationship and that trust they have in you.
Now, to be that guide for your clients, you've got to speak the language. And trust me, not all water damage is created equal. The terms that adjusters and restoration pros throw around can sound like alphabet soup. So let's decode it.
First thing you need to know, water gets broken down into 3 categories based on how contaminated it is. You've got Category 1, that's clean water. Think a busted supply line. Then there's Category 2, gray water, which is significantly contaminated, maybe from a washing machine or a dishwasher. And then you have Category 3, black water. That's the bad stuff, grossly contaminated, like sewage or floodwater. This isn't just jargon, folks. This distinction is everything because it determines the health risks and the entire game plan for cleanup.
And here's the real kicker. Time is your absolute worst enemy. That clean Category 1 water, it can degrade into nasty Category 2 or even hazardous Category 3 water in as little as 48 hours. You have to stress this to your clients. A delay isn't just about more soaked drywall. It's about a simple cleanup turning into a full-blown biohazard situation.
Okay, so if category tells us what's in the water, class tells us how much water there is and where it all went. Class 1 is pretty minimal. Class 2, you're looking at a soaked carpet and water wicking up the walls a bit. Class 3 is serious saturation, a lot of times coming from overhead. And Class 4, that's the real tough one. That's when water gets trapped in stuff like concrete or hardwood and needs specialized drying. Knowing this helps you explain to a frantic client why this is a scientific, multi-day process, not just a couple of fans.
So, we've laid out just how complex this problem can get. Now let's pivot to the solution. Because a modern mitigation process, the kind you want for your clients, is way more than just fans and dehumidifiers. It's about using technology to get better, faster, and more accurate results for everyone involved.
Any professional playbook has 4 key steps. First, you get the water out, extraction. Then, you remove anything that can't be saved. Third, you get into the heavy-duty structural drying, but it's that 4th step that really separates the pros from the amateurs: daily monitoring and documentation. This isn't just for the contractor's records, it's the hard proof the insurance carrier needs to see the job was done right.
And this is really where modern restoration just completely changes the game. Technology takes all the guesswork out of it and replaces it with scientific proof. That means every step is transparent and trustworthy for you, your client, and the carrier. I mean, look at these tools. A Matterport 3D camera can create a perfect digital replica of the home for the claim file. No more disputes about the state of the property. Software like Encircle Hydro gives you and the adjuster real-time reports, so you're never in the dark. Infrared cameras can literally see moisture hiding behind walls, which prevents mold down the road. And systems like DryLink monitor the drying process around the clock scientifically. This tech isn't just neat stuff for the contractor, it's what builds trust and makes the entire claim run smoother.
Okay, so we've covered the physical side of things. Now let's talk about the people, the policies, and the paperwork. This is where you, the agent, really shine. You get to be the calm, knowledgeable guide that helps your client navigate what can be a really confusing and stressful maze. This part is so important, because during a claim, everybody has a very specific job. The contractor is there to physically fix the house. The adjuster is there to interpret the policy and authorize payment for the insurer. And you are there to advise your client and guide them through the process. It is absolutely critical that everyone stays in their lane. It prevents so many headaches and potential compliance issues.
And that brings me to a Texas law you absolutely have to know. A contractor cannot legally act as a public adjuster. So if you ever hear about a contractor telling your client, hey, don't worry, I'll handle the entire insurance claim for you, that is a massive red flag. It's a violation of state law, and you need to protect your clients from that situation.
Next up, let's manage some expectations. Here's a quick rapid-fire round of common policy gotchas.
1. Standard policies do not cover floods. That's rising water from outside. 2. Slow, gradual leaks are almost always excluded as a maintenance issue. 3. Sewer backup is excluded unless you have a specific endorsement. And 4. Mold coverage, it's almost always capped at a pretty low sublimit, like 5 or 10 grand. Knowing these up front allows you to set realistic expectations and avoid some really tough conversations later on.
And here's another huge one for you in Texas, House Bill 2102. This law makes it illegal for a contractor to waive, absorb, or cover a client's deductible in any way. This is an anti-fraud law, plain and simple. Your clients have a legal responsibility to pay their deductible, and you should advise them to be really wary of any contractor who says they'll take care of it.
So, let's pull all of this together. All this knowledge, the technical stuff, the legal rules, the logistics, it completely transforms your role. You're not just the person who sold them a policy. You become an indispensable advisor right when your client needs you the most.
You know, this quote from Ben Jernigan over at WTR Restoration just says it all perfectly. The mission is simple: deliver white glove service. That's the standard of care you should want for every single one of your clients, and it's the standard you can help them find in a restoration partner.
At the end of the day, here's the bottom line. When you can guide your client through this chaos and connect them with a competent, tech-savvy restoration partner, you create a win-win-win. The client gets their home and their life back faster. The claim gets handled smoothly and accurately. And your reputation as that go-to, trusted advisor is set in stone.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. The next time a client calls you in a full-blown panic about water in their house, will you be ready? Is the process you're guiding them to one that's truly transparent, fully documented, and as efficient as it can possibly be? Your answer to that really defines the value you bring to the table when it matters most.